Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we're going to take a look at the physical EZA Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO. This is a really good character. This guy really helps the Heroes team come together. Obviously the best character on the Heroes team is the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO by far. And this guy absolutely does his job to just simply bring the best out of Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO, right? This guy does so much for the Limit Breaker version. He's giving him 60% support, giving him most of his links, and this guy is going to be a nice defensive character as well. He's a very strong support slash defense character. I love it. Supports help you in, like, just such a gigantic way, right? That being able to bring them and then have them not be, like, what causes you to lose is just huge. Now, I think there's a lot of different ways you can go with VEGITO when it comes to his potential system. Dodge, obviously, is huge, right? Because, I mean, his major focus should be as a support first and foremost, right? So Dodge is really good. Additional, I mean, he could do decent damage, but he gets 50% defense on a super attack effect. This guy typically is going to be in slot 2, so, you know, him double supering could be very advantageous. He could do decent damage, so you can go with crits. I don't like this guy with crits. Remember that this guy does have a nullification as well. Let's go and jump in. Let's see what we're able to get from this guy. I suppose another thing you could do is maybe try and give him, like, an HP equip. Of all the Heroes characters, this guy has the highest HP anyway, but he still could be, you know, just giving HP equips to several of these characters could help out greatly. Let's go and hop in, and let's see how good EZA Physical Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO will perform. Alright guys, so we are here in an event with EZA Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO. This will be good. We'll get one turn where we don't have him kind of under the umbrella of one of the Limit Breaker VEGITOs, and then next turn we'll see, you know, how much he jumps up. Because remember, a huge thing with Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO here, as a Super Saiyan 4 character, he gets a lot of stats from his links. So he has Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Fuse Fighter, Power Bestowed by God, Prepare for Battle, Saiyan Roar, and Fierce Battle is his link set. So obviously having as many of those active as possible is going to give us, you know, huge stats, going to be very important. Yeah, let's just quickly go through what he does here. So super attack effect, he of course is going to be getting 50% defense on super attack, which is good. He gets 180% of stats at the start of turn. He gets 60% attack and defense on super attack. He gives crossover category allies 1 key, 30% attack and defense, and Giant 8 power category allies 1 key and 38% attack and defense as well. He gets 5% damage reduction per crossover or Giant 8 power category ally in the team, depending upon whichever one has more. And then he has a high chance to nullify enemy super attacks. So, you know, there's 2 teams this guy will be ultra effective on. Giant 8 power as well as crossover. I think the next video I'm going to do is we're going to take Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO and Physical EZA Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO against Omega. We're going to see how well they operate against Omega, and I think I'm going to use a Giant 8 power team for that. I just really like what they did with both Super Saiyan 4 VEGITOs. I think I don't really mind the restriction because Heroes is a good team, and Giant 8 Power is going to be a good team as well. So it's like, because, I mean, damn, like, you look at something like Blue Kaioken Goku, right, where he could be very explosive, but, like, you're talking about a lot of times restricting him to just a god-awful team, right, which is just, it's terrible. Having, you know, most of the team just really not being able to pull their own weight or really able to do very much, right? Well, that's not going to be a problem. So, Physical Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO, he's able to carry his own weight. Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO, he's able to carry his own weight. And then, I mean, if we're on Giant 8 Power, we have LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, we could have LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? We could still use Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, of course, also works on the Heroes team, right? I like Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. We have just a lot of characters. The Celebration in general, I think, is going to be good. A lot of characters able to do their jobs effectively. So, alright, we have Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO right here. So remember, he has 225k defense right here. He gets 60% when performing a super attack, and then he gets 50% from his super attack effect as well. I think for the most part, typically in most runs, you're going to be doing this. Limit Breaker Vegito in slot 1, and then we'd have Super Saiyan 4 Vegito in slot 2, right? Typically, that's what we're going to be doing. I think against Omega, though, we probably will use Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito at the end of that fight in slot 1. Don't forget, he does have his nullification, which I think is quite meaningful against some of these really big bosses. Damage reduction is good. And then again, giving him dodge, enables it all to come together. There's the nullification right there. And again, remember, this was recently buffed. Well, I say recently, but I mean, it was like March of 2023 now, right? We're in November, where those counterattacks have been changed to nullifications. And I think for good reason. That is great. It buffs this character a lot, right? So now, no matter what, I mean, any like tough fight in the future, I'm of the opinion that dodge is actually too strong. Like, people would think that, like, I'm the ultimate dodge lover, and, it's just, I like it because it's strong. It's good for your characters. But I do think that the bosses, an easy way to make bosses tougher is just cancel dodge, because dodge is too strong, right? So that's why, like, if they do that, it doesn't hurt this Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. It doesn't hurt like a lot of the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta characters, right? Who have these nullifications and counters, these really strong abilities, right? Like, I love having that. I think that Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, like, Limit Breaker Vegito, there's no way I could have, like, my wildest dreams for I hope he's good would not have been as good as he is. Like, 70% crit and 60% damage reduction for, like, most of the fight is just, it's really strong, right? Like, he's really good. And then I would say the same thing for Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, too. Like, I mean, he's giving 60% support to Dragon Ball Hero Super Saiyan 4 characters, right? So, like, Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s, like, these characters, the Super Saiyan 4 Brolys, they're all getting 60% support from Vegito. Like, that's just so crazy. It's nuts, man. Honestly, like, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, he's got a huge amount of damage reduction. Like, he's bringing a lot to the table. I just think that Dokkan has done a really good job. Pan, please. Yeah, please, Pan. I just think Dokkan has done a really good job with these Super Saiyan 4s. Well, I guess obviously we're going to put Vegito in slot 1 right here, Physical Super Saiyan 4. And this is not a rotation where we would typically do this, but I mean, this is a good test in like a showcase setting right here to see how Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito will handle this, right? He potentially could Frieza. Remember, this Frieza does stack attack, so he builds his damage. You can see the symbol up there up top now after the update, but this is what Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Again, typically, Limit Breaker Vegito, 9 times out of 10 is just going to be strong enough to hold fine in slot 1 anyway. But, I mean, this guy is capable of doing it. Now, you see how good he is, man. Like, huge support, nullification, damage reduction. Like, damn, Dokkan. Is it really this hard to make these characters good? Like, the answer is no. Like, I mean, let's not complain about Turles and Super Trunks and 17 and 17 and, banning a baby and shit like that. And let's just focus on the fact that they actually did come correct for some of these characters, right? This could be bad for Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito here. This would be a boss that could potentially handle Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Earlier today, so typically what I'll do is I'll do one of these fights, right? And then when I finish the showcase, I don't just quit out. I just let the fight finish, either winning or dying. It still counts as a use for the character, and I like to, see how many times I use this character, for example, blah, 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 blah. So I kind of, like let the fight finish out. And earlier in this, I think it was in Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito's actual showcase, one of them got killed at the end, taking, I think it was 600k damage from this Frieza. So Frieza, this would be an example of a tough boss against Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito after his damage reduction has been cut in half, right? Because he loses a bunch of it as the fight gets deeper and deeper. But we weren't actually able, like, It would have been potentially bad if Vegito had gotten supered, but that's not what happened, so we're fine. Pretty soon, Rose will probably be one of the next videos we do. Again, there's so many characters. I'm going to try and upload a lot, work through there, because not only did they drop 50 characters on us, but there's also a million content. So, like, there's just so much to do, right? Okay. I guess we'll just do this. We could pop... I mean, this is a Super Saiyan 4 Vegito showcase, so let's just use the guy's active skill. Yeah, let's get in there. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Limit Breaker Vegito, like, is this gonna be the start of power creep? Last year, after the worldwide download celebration, power creep began, right? Because we got Path to Power Kid Goku and the Gammas, who are still good, right? Like, they were right afterwards. Although, I guess technically, Bardock wasn't on the same level as them. We got 4 Dokkan Fests in October of 2022. It's just so crazy to think about. We got 4 Dokkan Fests in October of 2022. And like 3 of them are some of the strongest characters Dokkan has ever released, ever, right? Like Path to Power Kid Goku and the Gammas is insane that they were 2 weeks apart. And they've been so good for so long. But like, remember last year, Power Creep had already started. I do wonder if this batch of Heroes characters, is this going to begin Power Creep? Like, the next Dokkan Fest on JP, how good is that character going to be? Right? Because these Heroes characters, they make Gohan and Piccolo look like shit. Right? Like, all these Heroes characters are like better than Gohan and Piccolo. It's crazy. Alright, this is all-piercing fusion power. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito Xeno. His leader skill is crossover category key 3 and 180% of stats, so he does have a decent leader skill there, 180%, pretty good. His super attack is the Galactic Spirit Sword, which greatly raises defense for 1 turn, so 50% buff, and he does immense damage to the enemy. His passive skill, Strongest Countermeasure, he gets 180% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 60% attack and defense on super attack. He gives crossover category allies 1 key and 30% attack and defense. Then he gives Giant 8 power allies 1 key and 30% attack and defense. Then he gets 5% damage reduction per crossover or Giant 8 power category ally in the team, depending upon which category has more members. So that is good, right? Up to 35% damage reduction is pretty effective with the stats and the support and the damage and the link set and everything else that this guy's bringing to the table, right? And then finally, he has that high chance to nullify enemy super attack and counter a tremendous power. 50% chance to essentially dodge, right? Very good, a super attack. So that's why, like, as long as this Vegito can competently handle normal attacks, which he can, you at least have a fight. Like, this guy never is just, oh, he got caught, right? Like, he's not some bitch. You've always got a 50% chance to counter it. So, really good, really good. His link set, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Fuse Fighter, Power Bestowed by God, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Roar, and Fierce Battle. 12 key multiplier is 140%. Wait, let me double check that. Is that true? I would have figured that it was higher for this guy. No, it is. Yeah, it's 140%. Okay. 140%, 12 key. I would have thought that this guy would have gotten a 150%. Because even in 2020, he was pretty good. When this guy first came out, him and Super Saiyan 4 Broly were strong. I feel like Super Saiyan 4 Broly was probably better in 2020 than he is now. The EZA one, who's on the layout here. But, I mean, he at least can, after, you know, he builds up, can become quite good, right? There's that. So yeah, there's the links to 12 key multiplier. Vegito is on a lot of teams as well. I mean, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to sort of, you know, utilize his full powers on some of these teams. But, I mean, it's if they're going to make him this good, but just limit him to a couple, I mean, it's fine, right? So he's on the crossover category team right there. I still have to go through my box after the summons. A lot of work I got to do with my box and preparing characters to link level and stuff like that. He's also on the Dragon Ball Hero category team as well. Cool, cool, cool. Then he's on the Patara category team. Sure, sure. He's also on the Final Trump card. Yeah, this is Final Trump card right here. Then he's on Giant Ape Power, which is, I would say, a pretty competitive team now, for sure. We've gotten some real options here. By the way, stupid that Physical Turles is not on here. He should be. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. That the Physical Dokkan Fest Turles, his active skill, he uses Great Ape Kid Gohan, right? Like, Turles should be on this category. That seems like... It's like so obvious it doesn't even make sense how they make that mistake, right? Like there's been numerous times throughout history where characters have been added to categories. LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku was added to Connected Hope a couple of months after release. So like I will not be shocked if one day Turles just gets added to Giant Ape Power. It doesn't really make a ton of sense, right? Then Vegito is also on the Time Traveler category team. Sure. Vegito is also down here on the Kamehameha team. I mean, we're at the point where I'm waiting. I feel like Kamehameha, like New Year's or anniversary or something like that, would be great to give us a new Kamehameha team leader. I feel like we need it, like, for sure. Then there's also the Battle of Wits team that Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is a part of. He is also over here on Defenders of Justice, which is actually probably kind of solid now, right? With the Super Saiyan 4 Vegitos and stuff like that, it really might be. Could be a decent team. And then finally, Vegito is on... Wait, what is this? This is time... No, this is Time Limit. Yeah, this is the Time Limit category. And then he still has the Fuse Fighter category. We're going to be using him soon because there's missions for the Hearts Red Zone there. And then finally, he is on Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So, let me know what you guys think of EZA Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Going into the celebration, man, I was nervous as hell. Because this guy, like, I knew this guy was going to be important. You know, anyone, like, a bunch of us were talking about the HP of the Heroes team even leading into the celebration, how that was going to be a concern. This guy has the highest HP on the Heroes category. We knew how important this guy was going to be, and Dokkan nailed it. Right, the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is as good as we would have wanted him to be, and that just drastically helps the Heroes team so much. The Heroes team, like everyone is focused on Limit Breaker Vegito, which is fair. He's so good. But this guy really, really is so important to the team and helps out so much. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.